I started making art when I was like a junior in high school. I started doing photography at first, and at first I didn't really know what I wanted to do. I just wanted to learn how to make, visually pleasing things and learn how to actually make images. As I learned more what design was, I learned about social design, forefronting the human experience in design instead of putting profits ahead of people. It caused me to realize that social work was kind of always a part of who I was. When we were living in like homeless shelters and things, like we would always still take part in like food drives, even though we would benefit from food drives, but we would also like help run them and give out turkeys on Thanksgiving and stuff. And I'm really thankful my parents would make us do those things because it showed me the importance of it, like even as I was experiencing these things. So one project I was excited to work on was actually just a small infographic that I made with the Guardian Scholars Program when I was their graphic designer last year. It was for Foster Care Awareness Month statistics that I would then integrate into like an infographic. I was pretty proud of this because it was kind of one of my last projects with the Guardian Scholars Program, and it was just an exciting challenge to be able to do this work where I would be putting out information into the world. And one of the slides in general that talks about 1 in 4 former foster youth experiencing PTSD symptoms as adults, that really hit close to home to me because I was diagnosed with PTSD as a teenager due to what I've experienced, and I think it's something that not a lot of people hear about, or those who experience it probably don't even know that they're experiencing it sometimes. But I don't know, this information is really key to showing the world what happens in the foster youth experience, but in the context of higher education. I'm just proud to have been able to spread the word in a way that's effective. As I went off to college, I found that I became really inspired by my home and really interested by my home. So whenever I would go home, I would just take a lot of photos. One photo that I've taken was this photo of my mom looking out the window on the phone. This is the last photo before my mom had to cut her hair during her breast cancer treatment. I'm so incredibly grateful to have been there to capture this photo, because I think something like this allows me to see that these photos, even if they feel normal now, they're going to gain a lot of importance later on for reasons we don't even know. This is the same spot in my house. It's the same kind of light source that I really enjoy. The photo of a recliner in a corner of my house that just showed kind of some objects that we interact with daily. I just like the light, kind of how it is really normal. It kind of feels like real life. I guess that's another reason why I love that photo, because I think years from now, when I move away from here and I no longer have this space, then I'll probably appreciate that I took this photo even more, and it'll be one that feels like how I experienced this. And I think that's a really powerful feeling to evoke in a photo. The work I do, it's not just making things that are visually appealing, but also serving this purpose of bringing more awareness to the people who have lived lives like mine, who've experienced the hardships I've experienced, and who still live that way, and celebrate it for its beauty, celebrate it for the things that are good about it, because those things go unheard of also. In the discourse of poverty, it's inevitable. People will always label it as, ugly. And it is, it's ugly how much of a blatant disregard for those who experience that. In doing that, you kind of forget that there are, incredible moments of beauty, and really innovative moments of beauty within the things I've experienced and the things people experience. Gordon Parks is a great photographer I'm really inspired by, because he was documenting poverty in the American South and creating these really honest narratives, these really beautiful, honest narratives that can really evoke change. I think they can be the most striking examples. They can be the the motivator to really pay attention to these things, especially with his documentation of the prison system and drugs, and documentation of even historical life events. You see it with that really honest eye, the honest eye that gets past judgments but gets to something really important. I want to design with those things in mind, with those people in mind, those people who go unheard of and underserved by society, because my family's all been harshly affected by institutionalized racism, and just racism within the country, within the system, the criminal justice system. Those are things that I have a lot of experience in because of where I come from in my family and what they've been subjected to. Yeah, I guess I just value social work and social art that is also like beautiful.